Tom Paine, yeah, said hereditary power was as implausible as having hereditary mathematicians. And Ben Franklin compared monarchy to the potato, since any goodness, like old kings and queens, lay underground. The initial role of king, deriving from the word kindred, was once to be a tribe's highest common factor, but when virtues traded for war profiteering and the rest, then its bubble is said to have burst. In The Ancient Mariner, Coleridge wrote, "A man doomed by him having killed an albatross. A similar curse attaches itself to the ibis, the slow celestial bird, revered in hieroglyphics, for changing the tides." In Egypt, the moon god Thoth would appear with an ibis and made his wife Ma'at. Thoth made a cosmic egg. It was to feed the sun god with its harmonious essence, and its bounty would pervade and support creation. Aeons later, a fake house of Windsor, less magical a fable, built on fly-blown genealogies, has to crumble, with its offspring being turned out of their gilded cages to allow the wildlife that they persecute to fly free. It said you should be careful what you wish for in case it should ever come true, yet surely no one need be restrained from removing a cancer until they found a replacement. For once cauterised, the royal disease can be switched for something that could have a much healthier, but by tossing up this family's monumental wealth mountain and turning it into a people's portfolio. The present guesstimate has royal assets being worth hundreds of billions, if not a trillion. If 6,000 billion is taken as being a ballpark sum, it would give everyone 10,000 a year for life. To dissolve the Crown estates alone would yield billions. For every offshore wind farm's electricity could then enrich people power and not hereditary privilege, since coastal rents needn't be paid to the monarch. If this family is capable of renouncing its German identity and declaring its name to be Windsor, so as to capitalise on Windsor's connection to Arthur's Round Table, it can just as easily forego its fraudulent wealth. It could even be thought of as a religious duty, since the ostensible head of the church most know its founder's views on unsocial justice. Jesus might well wish his royal fans to divvy up. In any case, the notions of royal bloodline is unchristian. The book of Acts 17:26 clearly states, and hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth. In other words, no so-called royal bloodline can be special, for anyone can be royal as they please. Duke Ellington, Earl Hines, Old King Cole, King Crimson. Show that everybody is already an aristocrat. In 2012, 2 bodies are found in the Sandringham estate. The bodies are of 2 young girls decayed. The rumours are uncontrolled. Had they been a dry run for Princess Diana's death? Were they left behind after a sex orgy when Mr. Epstein stayed there as a guest of Prince Andrew? Epstein, the convicted paedophile, given landing rights for his jet at Royal Air Force Base at Markham. A man with sex slaves pimped by Maxwell's corrupt daughter and then paraded for the royals' delectation. Were the royals questioned? Were the girls shot? Were they strangled? Oddly, the scandal causes little surprise, as if the country is finally saturated by royal stories and their multiple body pile-ups, and might now welcome voices saying, like Cromwell, in the name of God, go. Just go. A mega-rich family of ceremonialist cranks disarmingly claiming to be powerless as they rubber stamp illegal wars, thus exposing their country to reprisals. A monstrous carbuncle that drains the life force. Zoo animals bred by the state who, in sorry attempts to assert their independence, kill other creatures with psychotic compulsion. Or to put it more kindly, bit-part actors in a pseudo-religious catch-penny cult full of empty traditions and obscure pomp staged for tourists and the uncritical. A Toy Town family tied to two empires. First the ghost of its own, then to the US empire, which propagates regeneration through violence. In the words of the novelist Jane Austen, writing in Pride and Prejudice, you've delighted us long enough. It's everyone's turn to be royal, and to bid farewell to a family that embodies unwanted imperialist scrag ends, the robbery, the racism, the slavery and slaughter, and leave them to a long overdue exile, so that the mythical spirit of Herne the Hunter, the Pan-like presence with stags' horns and wild dogs, can take over the royal estates and then restore them to common land.
That's all right. Take our first. We're going to